Your cat has been sending you the same message for years. You just never knew how to read it. Most people think cats are mysterious by nature. They're not. They're just speaking a language you were never taught. And the moment you learn it, everything changes. There are 8 specific tail signals your cat uses every single day. 8 distinct emotional broadcasts happening right in front of you. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what each one means, what triggers it, and how to respond in a way that actually strengthens your bond. There's also a test at the very end. Stay for it, because it'll tell you something about your cat you probably didn't know you were missing. Let's start with something most people get completely wrong. Cats didn't develop their communication system in the wild. They developed it for us. In nature, big cats, lions, leopards, tigers communicate mostly through scent marking and posture across distance. But domestic cats, over thousands of years of living inside human homes, evolved an entirely new layer of communication. More nuanced, more immediate, more emotionally expressive. Your cat meows almost exclusively at humans, not at other cats. Adult cats essentially stopped meowing at each other once they moved in with us. And their tail? It became something remarkable. A real-time emotional antenna, broadcasting how they feel, what they need, and what they're about to do, constantly, visibly, and with remarkable precision. You've been living with a fluent speaker your entire life. Let's fix that now. Signal 1. The puffed, rigid, downward tail. You know this one. Your cat hears a sudden loud noise or spots the vacuum cleaner across the room, and in less than a second, their tail triples in size, stiff, puffed out like a bottle brush, curled downward or jammed between their legs. Their back arches. Their whole body becomes a warning sign. What's happening here is called piloerection, the same involuntary process that gives humans goosebumps when they're frightened. Adrenaline floods the bloodstream, the hair follicles contract, and the fur stands on end. The cat has no control over this. Their nervous system is doing it automatically. The visual effect, a bigger, stranger-looking body, is actually a threat display designed to make predators hesitate. Your cat, in this moment, is not being dramatic. They are genuinely flooded with stress. Their heart rate has spiked. Their muscles are tensed for fight or flight. The worst thing you can do is pick them up or try to comfort them through touch. What they need is quiet, space, and time. If you notice your cat entering this state regularly, not just occasionally, it's worth mapping out what's triggering it. Chronic fear in cats doesn't just affect their mood.
It leads to real physical health consequences, urinary problems, gastrointestinal issues, and immune suppression. The tail was the first warning. Pay attention to it. Signal 2. The straight-up greeting tail. This one will change how you feel every time you walk through your front door. When a cat comes trotting toward you with their tail held perfectly upright, sometimes with a small curl at the very tip, like a little hook, that is one of the most emotionally significant gestures they are capable of making. It means, I am glad you're here. I feel safe. I trust you completely. Here's the part that makes it even more extraordinary. This behavior, tail straight up, approaching a larger being confidently, is something kittens do with their mothers. Adult cats don't typically do it with other adult cats. But domestic cats carry this juvenile greeting behavior into adulthood and direct it specifically at their humans.
When your cat greets you this way, they are placing you in the same emotional category as the being who once kept them alive and safe. That's not a small thing. Next time it happens, try this. Stop walking. Crouch down to their level. Extend 2 fingers toward them slowly. Let them sniff. Hold eye contact and blink slowly. You'll notice the interaction shifts. They'll often press into your hand or circle your legs or begin to purr. That's two-way communication. That's the conversation starting. Signal 3. The low, slow swishing tail. This is the one that saves you from getting scratched, if you know what you're looking at. The tail hangs somewhere between neutral and low. It might move, slowly, deliberately, side to side. Not fast, not frantic, just a steady, rhythmic swing. The cat's body looks slightly compressed. Their eyes might be half closed or unfocused. They look vaguely done with it all. This is your cat telling you clearly, I am not in the mood, not for petting.
Not for play, not for your well-intentioned attempt to cheer me up. Cats are exquisitely sensitive to changes in their environment, shifts in routine, unfamiliar smells, a new piece of furniture in the wrong place, a stranger's voice from the hallway. Any of these can tip a cat's emotional state into this low, withdrawn territory. The instinct most people have is to intervene, to pet more, talk more, offer treats. That instinct is almost always wrong. A cat in this state needs autonomy. They need to feel like they have control over their own space and their own interactions. Give them that. If the low tail persists for more than a day or two, especially if it's combined with reduced appetite or hiding, it's worth a call to the vet. Sometimes a low tail isn't a mood, it's a symptom. Drop a number in the comments right now. How many of these signals have you seen in your own cat today? 1, 2, 3? I'm genuinely curious. Signal 4, the relaxed, softly curved tail.
This is the one you want to see more of, and once you can spot it, you'll start designing your cat's environment around making it happen. The tail isn't raised high, it isn't drooping. It hangs in a gentle, natural arc, following the body's line, moving loosely when the cat walks, settling softly when they sit or lie down. The rest of the body matches it. Open posture, relaxed ears, slow, deliberate movements. This is a cat in their version of complete peace. Behaviorists call what accompanies this tail position affiliative behavior. The cat rubbing the side of their face along furniture edges, slow blinking at you from across the room, kneading a blanket with their front paws. These aren't random habits. They're active expressions of emotional security. A cat performing these behaviors in this tail position feels genuinely safe in their environment. If you want more of this from your cat, the research is consistent. Routine matters enormously.
Cats who know when feeding happens, who have reliable access to high vantage points, shelves, window perches, cat trees, and who experience predictable human behavior show significantly more of these relaxed affiliative states. Chaos stresses cats. Consistency calms them. It's not complicated, it just requires paying attention. Signal 5, the quivering, raised tail. If you've seen this and didn't know what it meant, you may have found it slightly alarming. The tail shoots up, it vibrates. Sometimes the cat's entire back end seems to be trembling with held-in energy. Their eyes are wide, alert, pupils slightly dilated. They might be staring at a treat bag, watching a bird through the window, or, and this is the part that matters, looking directly at you. The quiver is involuntary. When a cat reaches a peak of excited anticipation, the muscles along the tail undergo rapid microcontractions. The cat literally cannot hold still. They are experiencing something close to what we'd call barely contained joy. Cats who are extremely bonded to a specific person will sometimes produce this exact tail response when that person enters the room. Not just any human, that specific one. If you've ever triggered this response in your cat, know what it means. You are their person. This is the perfect moment for active engagement. A feather wand, a crinkle ball, a laser dot across the floor. Play isn't just entertainment for cats, it's a biological need. Regular interactive play sessions reduce anxiety, lower aggression, and measurably deepen the bond between cats and their humans. When the tail quivers, answer it. Signal 6, the tucked, compressed tail. This one tells a more complicated story than it might first appear. The tail is low, lower than signal 3. It might be pressed between the legs entirely. The cat's body is hunched. Their movements are tentative. They seem simultaneously drawn toward you and afraid of what happens next. You'll often see this after something went wrong. A spilled plant, a chewed cable, a mess outside the litter box. The cat is approaching you or hovering nearby in this compressed, pulled-in posture. And here's what most people get wrong. They interpret this as guilt. It isn't. What cats are doing in this moment is reading your emotional state and responding to it with appeasement signals. They can detect elevated stress in your voice, your posture, your cortisol levels through scent. They don't connect their earlier action to your current emotion the way a human would. They know you're upset. They don't know why. The tucked tail, the small body, the wide eyes. These are signals that mean, please don't be angry. I'm not a threat. Responding to this state with punishment doesn't teach a lesson. It increases the ambient anxiety your cat carries through the day. What actually works is calm, measured energy.
Address the situation, redirect future behavior. But direct your frustration at the problem, not at the animal trying to make peace with you. And here's where it gets genuinely surprising, because the next signal, number 7, is the one that reveals something about your cat that almost nobody talks about. Signal 7, the puffed, high, lashing tail. This is the warning most people miss until it's too late. The tail is raised, but not in the clean, smooth upright of a greeting. It's puffed out, bristled, and either held rigid or moving in fast, sharp lashes from side to side. The cat's body is tense, weight forward, eyes hard and unblinking. This is not fear. This is a cat that has decided to hold its ground. The rapid lashing is the critical detail here. There's a widespread misunderstanding, shaped entirely by how we read dogs, that a moving tail means a happy animal. In cats, a rapidly thrashing tail is one of the clearest danger signals they produce.
It means, I am past my limit. I am overstimulated. Do not push this further. Cats in this state are not making a choice to escalate. Their nervous system has already made it for them. The stimulation threshold has been crossed, and the body is preparing to respond. If you see this signal, stop moving. Don't reach out. Don't try to calm them with touch. Step back. Give complete space. Let the cat de-escalate on their own timeline. Cats who show this level of agitation frequently, not just occasionally, may genuinely benefit from environmental changes. More vertical territory, quieter rest spaces. In some cases, pheromone diffusers or a conversation with a vet about underlying anxiety. The tail told you the truth. Listen before the scratch does. Signal 8, the wrapping tail. This is the one that stays with you. When a cat walks past you and their tail curves gently around your leg or wraps softly around your hand as you reach down, that is not an accident.
It requires deliberate muscle engagement. It is a choice. This wrapping behavior appears in cats who share a deep, established bond with a specific individual. You'll see it between closely bonded cats who sleep pressed together, their tails intertwined. You'll see it directed at a human the cat has chosen as their safe person. In the wild, social felids, lions, cheetahs, use body contact to reinforce group bonds. The wrapping tail is a version of that ancient behavior, redirected toward you. It is the closest thing a cat has to reaching for your hand. If you've experienced this, you already know the feeling it produces, something quieter than excitement, closer to being trusted completely by something that has no obligation to trust you at all. That's what it is. Hold on to that. Now, here's the thing that pulls all 8 signals together, and this is the part most people never hear. Tail language is never the whole message. It's one channel in a simultaneous broadcast your cat is producing at every waking moment. Their ears tell you where their attention is directed and how threatened they feel. Their eyes, the speed of blinking, the size of the pupils, tell you their arousal level and their emotional openness. Their whiskers shift forward when curious and flatten when threatened. Their posture tells you whether they're approaching or retreating from the world. A tail held upright can mean a joyful greeting, or it can be part of an agitated threat display. The difference is in the ears, relaxed and forward or flattened back. In the fur, smooth or bristled. In the eyes, slow and soft or wide and hard. You can't read one signal in isolation. You have to read the whole body. This is why observation matters more than memorization. The more time you spend watching your cat without an agenda, without trying to pet them or play with them or redirect them, the more fluent you become. You start to see patterns. You start to predict emotional states before they peak. You start to know, before anything happens, whether your cat is about to come to you or pull away. That level of attunement isn't just useful, it's the foundation of a real relationship. Science has been catching up to what cat owners have always felt. Studies now consistently show that cats form genuine attachments to their humans, not just transactional food-based associations, but actual bonds characterized by preference, proximity seeking, and stress responses during separation. They experience something measurably close to what we'd call love. And here's the piece that matters practically. Cats who live with owners who are attuned to their signals, who respond appropriately to what their cats are communicating, show lower stress hormones, more social behavior, better immune function, and longer health span. Your attention is not passive. It is an active ingredient in your cat's physical health.
What you choose to notice and how you respond to it shapes the animal living with you in ways that show up in blood work. Here's what I want you to try this week. Pick one moment each day, just one, when you observe your cat without doing anything. No petting, no calling their name, no reaching toward them. Just watch the tail. Notice where it is, how it's moving, what triggered the position it's in. Do that for 7 days and see how much your perception shifts. Most people who try this tell me they feel like they suddenly started seeing a conversation that was always happening, because it was. Your cat didn't start talking when you learned the language.
They've been talking the whole time. Which of these 8 signals does your cat show most often? Tell me in the comments, even just a number. I read everything, and it genuinely shapes what I explore next. Your cat chose to share their space with you. That's not nothing. Now you know enough of their language to actually show up for it.